All right, how's it going, everybody? Monday Bible study. And whoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away. We'll just keep reading. I know a lot of these things in the Bible, the things to do are sheep to sheep, like taking care of widows, visiting those in jail, taking care of the poor. Mystery Babylon does their so-called charity by taking care of the poor in their own way. And then the sheep are to take care of their own poor. Same with, you're not to visit anybody in jail. You're supposed to visit any sheep that's been put in jail because of, being set up, framed, so on and so forth. Paul was in jail for the longest time. Others were jailed too. I mean, even Jesus was temporarily jailed before his crucifixion. But these seem, if we go, I don't have the other ones to look at, but they seem to be in context of the whole world, how you mesh with the whole world. So these are a little different. Let's keep going. You have heard that it had been said, again, this is the old Jewish law when they say that, when Jesus says that, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. Well, if this is Jewish law, that would have been Jew to Jew. Not every Jew liked each other. I don't know. Just do with it what you can. Take it to prayer. But you're not supposed to love your enemies. When you get in, Jim Brown did a really good job at Grace and Truth Ministries teaching that word agape, and that you're basically to keep the commandments of the Lord to and at your neighbor, which is being salt and not hiding your light all at the same time. But I say unto you, love your enemies, because you see that love your enemies.
Message from Mary says,
oh, sorry.
Sounds
Hang
like
on.
a plan.
Drive
safe.
Sorry. All right. So you got love your enemies. Now, well, I don't know why when I hit those buttons like that, when I get a new, you see where it says, if any man come to me and hate, not. So in other words, you must hate your father, your mother, your wife, your children, your brothers, your sisters, friends, neighbors, and even your own life to be his disciple. And compare that with loving your enemies and bless them that curse you. What they're both talking about, it's not an emotional hatred to your family, and it's not an emotional love for your enemies. You do the right thing per God, per the law of Christ, to and in front of your enemies. And you do the right thing per the law of Christ around anybody you know. And in doing so, you are hating your own life in this world. See, it does. It drops down. I have to keep an eye on that. It drops down a notch. It says friendship with the world is enmity to God. Being a friend of the world is an enemy to God. So what you're doing when it says in hating even your own life, you're not being a friend to the world. So if your father or your mother or your wife or your children or your friends, neighbors, brothers and sisters are friends of the world, then you can't commingle with the world with them. In other words, Don't celebrate Christmas with them. Don't celebrate birthdays with them. And again, birthdays are just a mimicking of when Jesus got gifts because of his birth, because he was a king. They never celebrated Jesus's birthday afterwards. They never celebrated anybody's birthday in the entire New Testament. The only time a birthday is mentioned in the New Testament is a pagan King Herod, who, because of the birthday, John the Baptist got his head chopped off. They're making you king for a day, every day for a year, in mimic of Jesus being given gifts by the wise men and so on and so forth. That's all it is. That's all it is. If I didn't make any of that clear, just ask questions. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't know if I teach it thoroughly enough. Do good to them that hate you, and pray for them who despitefully use you and persecute you. And prayer is bowing to the will of the Lord. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. And Jesus, when he prayed, he even said, not my will, Father, but your will be done. That ye may be children of your Father, which is in heaven, for he maketh the sun rise, and on the evil and on the good. He sendeth rain, and on the just and the unjust. Okay. Just wanted to reread that verse one more time. I was making sure it wasn't also kind of saying something else. But I get what it was saying. I just woke up, so I got a little brain fog. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? But if ye salute your brethren, only what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. And of course, the Lord knows we can't be perfect, but I popped it in my head what this was saying, and then it just left me. Hang on a second. Vengeance is the Lord's. Bible verse. I think it's Romans. Yep. Whoops. So 12:19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, said the Lord. So if you have enemies and so on and so forth, let the Lord handle it. You don't handle it. That's really about the best I can tell you as far as what I take out of all of this, as far as how you would live in today's world, because the Bible doesn't change over time. It's the same as it was then as it is now. It's not like, well, those were those times. I mean, some things in context, yes. Concerning the baptisms or the water and all, so on and so forth, that took place as soon as the church began, because the Jews had a real dunking of water proselyte baptism. And Paul and them did so with some, but they eventually phased it out, but they knew the Jews wouldn't understand it. It was just, so it's a long involved story. Anyway, take heed that ye do not your alms before men to be seen of them, otherwise you have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. So basically anything that you do which is good, don't brag or talk about it that you did it, because then you're already getting your reward. So the Lord knows what you're doing, because guess what? He did it through you. So you wouldn't brag or boast of anything the Lord did through you, past witnessing. there's, there's good witnessing, and it's kind of another deeper level story on the subject. But just to give you an idea, I guess the New Living will map it out better. Watch out. Don't do your good deeds publicly to be admired by others, for you will lose the reward from your Father in heaven. And see, that's what they do. They run the Mystery Babylon world, has all this world of charities that they hide behind. And so they're already that's all they do is give each other rewards for their charities in public. I mean, they have the NFL Man of the Year award. So anyway, then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the God. He's still not saved yet. Nebuchadnezzar does not get turned by the Lord until until Daniel 4, because he writes Daniel 4. So he's not there yet, but he's going to get there. Then Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who are Daniel's buddies, who have sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies that they might not serve nor worship any God except their own God. Therefore, I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut into pieces, and their God shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after the sword. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar the king unto all people. Okay, so they got their promotion, but now Nebuchadnezzar is writing unto, it sounds like he's the way Paul starts off a letter. When you read Paul, like, let's go Romans 1. Romans 1:1. Did it again. That's on me. See how it starts out? Paul, servant of Jesus Christ, called to be an apostle, separated unto you unto gospel. And let's just read the entire opening statement, which I promised by the prophets and the Holy Scriptures concerning the Son of Jesus Christ, the Lord, which was made according to the flesh. Still didn't finish a complete sentence. Let's go through 5 and see what the opening statement is. And we still have not got a complete sentence. Let's just run it through. See, they all end in semicolons, so it's just a continuous statement. Among you who the called. We need to highlight that called too, don't we? Jesus Christ. Grace to you. See where it says grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. That's how he opened it. And look how he opened his. Peace be multiplied unto you. And he began with the name. So he opened this letter just like Paul would open his letters. Nebuchadnezzar, the king. So notice he's describing himself, and Paul in his letters describes himself with all those colons and semicolons. I thought it was good to show the signs and wonders that the high God have wrought toward me. How great are his signs and how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. So he's about to tell you the story, how the Lord brought Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, through the salvational process to be turned and to be made right, to repent, which is an ongoing process through to the day you die. But this is how it got started. Just like in Paul, when Paul received the call on the road to Damascus, when he was killing Christians, including Stephen at Stephen's stoning. And Paul went on to write all those epistles, and here Nebuchadnezzar is being turned also through a calling, and this is going to be the process of the calling. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in my house and flourishing in my palace. Colon. We'll get to the rest tomorrow. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime.